I'm sitting with Jules. I don't want to squish her.
Jules.
I'm gonna squish your little fat ass. Oh, I'm not squishing you. I'm too fat ass. Please don't hit me. Please don't hit me. Please don't hit me. Ouch. Please don't hit me.
You realize you're giving the cat like a third of that chair.
And then now she does this. We have experienced death by 1,000 cuts. Taylor Swift episode derailed by
Scooter Braun
Scooter Braun.
and Scott Borchetta.
It's
all their fault.
It's all their fault. The episode is ruined because my computer wrote over the audio. So enjoy a semi-messed up audio episode. Let's hope I can salvage this. If not, this won't come out. And so there's only one option. If you're seeing this, I am a genius.
But watch it because it's funny.
Definitely, regardless of the audio issue, there's reasons to salvage it.
There
I
are
think that the
reasons.
Swiftie episode is what you guys have been wanting and more.
Yeah.
I had to bring Izzy back for a whole second episode because we didn't even touch the iceberg of Taylor.
Yeah.
The tip of the iceberg? The touch of the tip.
Not the tip.
Enjoy!
Enjoy it.
Jumping,
I've been tough
something's
just to see you come running.
running. One thing I've been wanting, but no.
Let's fast forward to 300
take out coffees later. Well, if anyone has any clue who we're going to talk about today, it's Harry Styles.
Woo!
I'm kidding.
I have something for you.
You do?
Yes, and I've refrained from telling you about this just so I can surprise.
Oh my.
I brought you friendship bracelets. I made one of these. One of them is from a Taylor Swift Eras movie, and one of them is from Taylor Swift concert. So,
You literally are the best friend. I am so thankful for you. I now feel like a true Swiftie because I have concert bracelets.
and I wore
You want some?
the Reputation one and the blue one to the concert. They've been
So
in the
these-
same room as Taylor.
These have been in the same room as Taylor,
Yes.
even if it is one big stadium.
Yes, and the red one is from the movie.
Thank you, Izzy.
You're so
I will
welcome.
cherish these forever. Jules, look, this has been in the same room as Taylor.
Jules, you would love Taylor's cats. Wow.
For real, she is
I don't
kind of
know.
Taylor's cat's
I feel like
vibes.
Meredith isn't gonna, it doesn't vibe.
Taylor's
With other
cats
cats.
are
Olivia would.
closed-eared. What breed are they? Because they're very close to ragdolls, but they're not quite ragdolls.
I don't know.
They have the like tufted ear thing that's like super unique.
I don't know. Have you heard the theory that Taylor Swift wrote a book?
Oh right, and it didn't come out though. The day that everyone
Argyle,
saw.
have I told you about this?
Well, because there was the date on Goodreads of like a hidden book that was a big publisher, and everyone was like, "It's gonna be
It's turning
Taylor."
into a movie. This book is called Argyle.
Okay.
It has
wasn't the Taylor
Henry
Swift-
Cavill in it and Dua Lipa, and this book has not come out. It doesn't come out until
That movie with Dua Lipa and Henry Cavill
yeah,
was written
with
by
like
Taylor.
the like. Okay, we don't know that allegedly.
Is it Niles Scoresgorgon or whatever?
It's the one where it's like the fake, like the author's writing a book about spies. And, yeah, have you seen the commercial?
Has there been evidence that Taylor is involved in this?
No.
No.
Well,
So
okay.
Swifties need to come down to earth and touch grass for
I'll
the like
need you-
3,000th
I'll
time.
need you to insert here
3,000.
the thumbnail of their trailer.
Yes,
It
yes, yes.
is a cat and a cat carrier.
Yes, it is. That is very
it's
much
the same
like
type
hers.
of cat
Yes.
Taylor has. And it's Argyle. And people think because of like Midnights with Mayhem on the one of the episodes she wore an Argyle sweater and it was the day it was like all numbers because for some reason we get into a ton of number theory and for somebody
Always.
who really hated math it's very hard for me.
You're like, I can't do this. Whenever they're like, so what is the square root of 13? I'm like, I don't know.
Are we supposed to that?
Or you know, like all those things that Taylor Swift, like she loves her 13, so everything is somehow Swifties make math to make a 13 all the
Yeah,
time.
it's out, but it's like I don't think she's planning all of this, but it's absolutely bonkers that it works.
And then a lot of the time Swifties are wrong though, I will say
I know,
that.
but the way that the math still maths in a way.
Yes, yes,
Like
yes.
that's so weird.
Or how
She
every,
is a witch.
I mean, yeah, every release date of any Taylor's version so far has had some like insane calculation behind it.
Yeah, you ready for 1989's? 1989's is October 27th, as we all know. It's 9 years later, but it's the 10th month of the year.
Yes.
Clean. 10 months
Yes.
sober.
10 months sober.
Also, when she...
So that applies to when the original 1989 came out as well.
No, it's just like crazy that she did it in the 10th month
Right.
to signify 10 months sober.
But I thought you were saying it was
And
10
10
years
months later.
or 9 years exactly.
It is 9 years exactly.
Okay, so it does
So
apply.
she, even the first time, did it.
Right.
That's a clean reference.
Okay.
Secondly, when she talks about 300 coffee cups later, 300 divided by 30 is 10.
10 months.
10 months.
I thought you were going to say it was the 300th day of the year, but that would not make sense.
I think it is. It is actually.
It is. So 300
is.
coffee blind dates later.
I have not fact checked this. I took it from Twitter.
It could be. Because
I trust my friends.
65 days left in the year makes sense.
And it's also really cool because if it is the 300th day of the year, it works this year and not next year because next year's a leap year.
Holy shit! And she got the lawsuit done in time to release it this year. So how did she? Because if the lawsuit, she would have had to like change it up a little bit.
Yeah.
We're just getting
She's
started.
So smart.
She is so smart.
Yeah, I talked about her in therapy. I'm sitting in therapy on Monday, and I was telling
Nice.
them about her about my therapist about the football game we went to and how we got screamed at.
Yeah,
And-
she was a Chiefs fan at a Broncos game, and the Broncos are like doing the worst right now. So the fans were not nice to her. Let me say,
Which isn't justified. It was beyond not being nice. It was unsafe.
And, like-
there's no justifiable reason for it.
inside where I work. There were like Chiefs fans and Broncos fans cheersing. They
Yeah.
had their drinks and they
Like
cheered.
normal
Like normal
people.
football fans can get
Just-
along.
Like just normal people. Like I don't need you to be nice to me. I need you to not scream slurs at
I just
me.
can't believe that you were like around the bad Bronco fans because you want to think that the Bronco fans are the chill stoner type, but they're
Well,
not apparently.
I posted a video on TikTok.
Yes,
Did
yes,
you
yes. I
see
see
that?
this.
It's got a bunch of views. And all these comments are people like, yeah, no, I had this happen to me. And it's all women. Yeah, no, I had this happen to me. Yeah, no, I had this happen to me. So my sister and I, as soon as we got in the car to leave the stadium, we were blasting The Man.
I be the man.
We get into the Springs and we were going to get food. So we were getting Chipotle. And it was over by Icon. And I looked at Becca and I said, we could do the funniest thing right now.
Uh-oh.
She goes, you want to go see Taylor Swift? I said, yeah.
Oh, that's when you posted that. You said you saw it again.
I did the fifth time.
That's incredible. And then I saw you were like, maybe I'm done. Just maybe.
No.
Didn't you say that? Didn't you go and you were like, this is
I
the
think
last
I
time?
need to be done,
Oh, is that what you said?
but I don't want to be. I could go again right now.
I mean, it was like going.
It was so good.
I acted like I had seen Taylor Swift live the
It was
next day.
so good.
And we referenced that. That was what I was going to see that night, right? Or no, I was going to see
you were
another
seeing
random
some
movie.
Wild movie.
That movie was
We were both going
fine.
that weekend.
Yes, we were. Mhm.
Yeah. 10 out of 10 would recommend this movie. It was so good. The only negative thoughts I have on it is that she should have left the cut songs in and let it be 3.5 hours long.
Yeah.
Just,
I think
yeah.
like it was long, but it could have been longer.
It could have been longer. Yeah. And I want a whole movie of every single surprise song she did.
Mm-hmm.
I want her to do that.
I do like the surprise songs she chose. They fit.
Yeah, I just think it's super cute that we do like, these are spoilers for the movie in case you didn't know.
And in case you are not a Swiftie already, go become a Swiftie, learn every single surprise song she did in order, in city, in outfit color, and then come back.
She did our song because she's essentially saying like these are our
Our
songs.
songs.
Yeah, and when she like is saying to the fans at the beginning of the concert, I want you to remember these things
Mm-hmm.
and think about like tonight and the memories we made.
Yes.
And so our song being that like she's writing down our song.
To
So-
You're On Your Own Kid,
Yeah, Tanya, you're on your own, kid.
which is debut and a midnight song.
Yeah,
so it's like bookending.
oldest to newest,
Yes.
and just being like you've come this far, like you've got this.
And the acoustic version hits.
Yeah,
It's better.
and make the friendship bracelets. Just,
Make the friendship bracelets.
yeah,
Oh, that
I'm
was
just
great.
like shocked she didn't include that in the set list.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a lot of Midnights that personally I feel like did not need to be there, but I see that they were created in a way for a concert
I hope you're
atmosphere.
not talking about vigilante shit.
I am unfortunately talking about Bejeweled.
Oh.
I don't think Bejeweled is a very strong song.
Yeah, it's just a fun song.
It's the Shake It Off of the album.
Yes.
It's like very good, positive energy, and then like there's nothing to
Yeah.
dig down to.
But I don't
Yeah.
know what else she would do because I feel like she wanted to have like another poppy set because like she goes hard on Evermore and Folklore
And like
and like the drama
Reputation
and
is
the-
dark, and she wants something
Reputation-
happy.
her shit.
The animation of the snake coming out of the screen in the movie is so good. It scared me
It's made Becca jump every time we've gone.
because it looks like it's real.
The transition from "Don't Blame Me"
To Look What You Made Me
What You
Do.
Made Me Do, I need it. Also, she adds in her live sets with any of like with Reputation, with I Knew You Were Trouble, extra like guitar, like electric, not guitar, electric guitar into it, and I need those on a track because it makes it
So much better.
so much better.
I think that from the 1989 tour, which I've seen on YouTube now, the like growls that she did live and the like insane guitar on the live tour, I want
I want a rock album.
because she never really gave us Karma, the rock album.
Yeah.
She redistributed Karma into Midnights, into Reputation. She kind of took the rock album and put it places.
Yeah.
I want the rock version of the song Karma,
Yes.
and I would like a rock album.
Yes. Yeah.
I want Platinum Hair Taylor to actually reappear and to not be traumatized into making Reputation.
I think Bleachella can stay back. I think the attitude can come forth. I don't think
Yes.
she needs to do it to her hair again.
That's what I meant. I meant
Yeah.
in inside, not
On the
necessarily
inside, that's
the
what
outside.
matters.
Yes, not Bleachella, Calvin Harris nonsense.
Speaking of live versions, Bad Blood's live version is like the best thing. Like
Oh yeah, I don't like Bad Blood, but I loved it.
the live version, but she managed in 1989 Taylor's version to like, did you listen to it with headphones?
Mm-hmm.
She got the bass drop in there, and that was like
Yes.
so good. I was like, oh, I like this song now.
I'm glad we have transitioned into our thoughts on the Taylor's version because I have a lot of thoughts about Taylor's versions.
So many.
This was, wow. The last one was filmed previous to it releasing, which I'm honestly really glad we have that episode because it was pre-1989 Taylor's version us.
Yeah,
Look
like,
at us
we're
now.
different people
Aren't we
now.
completely changed?
So
We're
different.
So different.
I feel different.
Same. We only got the 5 songs. We debunked our theory. If you watched the last episode, we both really thought that there was going to be a double album.
There are still double album truthers.
I
They
saw,
think
like, a
she's
Tumblr
announcing
post
stuff on
where they
November
were-
10th.
They were saying that like in these the 3 voice notes that came out
Yeah.
of like the reasoning behind it,
Yeah.
people were like, she's gonna release the other 2 when she releases the other full album. I'm like, guys, Swiftie need to touch grass.
I love their delusion. Oh my gosh, did you read the prologue?
Oh, the one she posted to Instagram?
No. The album, like, that's in the vinyls.
Oh, I think it's in the physical copies that they post. I saw it was on Tumblr.
I have the pictures of it. You read the whole thing?
Yes.
I sobbed. I was sitting at my desk at work crying. Because she's talking about, if anybody remembers the 1989, like, era, she had her girl group, and everybody was so mean. Like, I even remember our youth group being like, because they were called the Squad. So, like, we had a whole sermon series called Squad Up.
Satire, yeah.
Yeah, and it was like satire, and it was like, how can we be better squads than Taylor's?
And I think that part is heavily involved in what I think wrote the man.
Yeah.
Men have their huge groups of friends
And they
and are
can-
never downtrodden. They
Yeah.
can look and act however they want, and they're
They're
never
not called
judged.
mean girls.
Frat bros,
and-
yeah, they're
yeah.
men. They're
Men, yeah.
Girls aren't even allowed to have not only their own independent careers and lives, they're not even allowed to have friends.
Because then you're a bunch of mean girls and you're bullying people, and they didn't do anything wrong.
They're all too skinny, promoting a bad lifestyle
Yeah.
when they were all already famous people who were forced to look that way
They're fucking models.
by other people, though. It's not like
They're models. What do you want? Like, who do you want her to like find to hang out? She doesn't go pick her friends based on what size and
Right.
ethnicity and social like.
And it was already like pretty interesting friend group. Like the Bad Blood video is still iconic.
It's so
With all,
iconic.
like people like Hayley Williams and Zendaya in there that people just forget.
Yeah, and like Olivia Benson and Meredith Grey.
And yeah, the
Selena.
ladies in the hallway.
Yeah.
Or like that random moment when they like give her like a lit torch.
Yeah.
Who are those women?
I don't remember.
They're like old models.
Yeah.
They're like old.
But it was just
career.
so incredible. But she says in the prologue, and I'm gonna butcher this. This is my paraphrase.
Yes.
Maybe women who have large groups of friends in adulthood are compensating for the empty lunch tables in childhood. We all know like Taylor struggled with friends and stuff.
And look at where she is now.
And then she proceeds to say, not creating a tyrannical group, girl group. And that like was like so emotional to me.
Yes, it's crazy to see how she's healed.
And to see that, but also like healed, but also in the way that she isn't accepting of it. She can acknowledge that it was so wrong, and to have like, I don't think it's bitterness, but more just, you guys destroyed something so good for me, and I want you all to know that.
Yeah, like I think that 1989 had the makings of like one of her favorite albums, and through what happened to her. And based on how I feel like she's promoted this album and how it's kind of like come out with only 5 vault tracks, that it definitely is not one of her favorites, just because of all the sad memories that are attached to it.
Yeah, 1989 was a hard time. Well, and she talks about it in the prologue as well. I'm real big on the prologue.
You're like, everyone go read the prologue.
No, seriously, everyone go read the prologue.
I'll link it.
Yeah. She talks about how she hadn't been in a serious relationship before, up until, I don't remember what year it says in there, and she was in a relationship, and she talks about this a lot in interviews with Joe Jonas, and then Jake and John, and like all these different things, like a normal person, and we have to acknowledge that Taylor can't just go on a date with somebody. She's dating them. If she is just like, I want to see if I want to date you, like any normal person would be, we wouldn't say we're dating that person, but everyone else says she's dating this person. And so she doesn't even get that freedom. And she talks about that in the prologue and how she decided she was going to stop dating.
Another thing that applies to women and not men.
Yeah.
Men can flirt and have hookups and they're so sexy, and women are such sluts. Yes.
And like promiscuous.
It's great that Slut came out now as opposed to
yes,
then.
I agree.
And did you see in the voice note that it was the blank space?
I'm so glad she picked blank space.
Because Slut feels, obviously she rewrites some of them to fit now and like adapts the sound, but it's so interesting to think how that one in her mind was the California version of Blank Space, and that the album is a New York album and Slut didn't fit the New York vibe. It felt more like California, and I picked up on that the first time I listened to it. It felt like a lover song to me.
Yeah, it did.
And it was my least favorite when I first listened. It's
grown on me, and I'm so glad she released Slut now, because it wouldn't have been. People need to remember 2014. One Direction is huge.
Yes.
Taylor Swift is dating Harry Styles and getting death threats because delusional 13-year-old girls think that they have a chance with him.
Which we were like, that's not us, but we were like 2 years older.
Yeah.
We were barely any different.
So she got all, and that's what she's talking about in Slut, that she's getting called a slut just because she dated this guy and everybody wanted him. That was her only crime.
Yes.
That people wanted him. And also just confirms to me that Gold Rush is about Harry Styles, side note.
Yes, because
confirmation.
That's it. Like, at first thought I was about Joe and how people wanted Joe.
No one wants Joe.
I definitely have changed my mind about that. Don't be mean to Mr. Joe now. At least when I thought that the album was mainly about him, I was like, you know what? This is about everyone rushing to Joe. Since then, I've really realized
Joe Alwyn actually looks like.
He is hot. Shut up. Like, I could never date him because I don't want to date myself. I'm like, I don't want to date like another blonde, like pale person. I want my relationships to be fun and like have some like opposites attract element.
Some new genetics. Stop the inbreeding.
Like I was gonna have a successful child anyway. Our genetic baby will be just like flying out the womb. I'll give birth to our genetically. I'll give birth to the baby.
No thoughts.
My friendship bracelets are like rattling around. I need to put them on this side of my watch.
I'm crying.
You're like, yeah, you could never date Joe Alwyn because of the incest. Not because of any of the other factors, like he's literally like 3. Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm gonna pass out. We're not even thinking.
It was such a genuine thought.
My female energy is strong. You were like, you're gonna give birth to an inbred baby.
Yeah.
You had no hesitation in your voice at all. You're like, yeah, no, you can't date him. You can't. I mean, it's more likely than me having Taylor Swift's baby, so I should at least try for something.
It's true. Somebody tag Swiftie struggles.
Hashtag. But yeah, it's definitely about Harry. Because the only person waiting to pan the gold out of the river for Joe is me.
For your children. It's gonna be going on for years now.
My biological children.
His biological children, Joe Alwyn. Be like one of those 1D Imagines a Larry fanfic.
Yep, like the weird Euphoria episode where there's like the animated.
Oh, yeah.
Like that would be me, the animated fanfic of Euphoria and Harry and Louis. Who was it?
Yeah. That part of the prologue
Pro Frog.
got put on Twitter before the release, like on release day before midnight. So technically a leak, but it got spread everywhere. And I tell you, I have never seen so many gaylers. Gaylers are people who think Taylor Swift is gay and in a secret relationship with Carter Kloss.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
I was thinking about how that one DJ said dress was about Gaylor. The one DJ at that party we went to, and she was like, "Here's the gayest Taylor Swift song." And then she played Dress.
We're both ready for You Need to Calm Down. We're like so ready for it. We're like starting to sing it, and then we hear.
I had like 2 or 3 different songs in my head. I was thinking about like Betty. Remember when we thought that Betty was like all girls?
Yeah.
We thought that like James.
There
was
were
maybe
so
a
many
girl.
other songs. This DJ was wild. It was at a Taylor Swift night. This person just kept going, "Where are my gays? Where are my queers? If you're queer, raise a hand."
I know, and me
It
being
felt
there.
like a hate crime. You know, we feel horrified about this. Imagine being famous. Literally not being able to leave your house.
Or like paparazzi photos, and then people will comment, well, they called the paparazzi to take these photos anyway, so they wanted it.
I learned.
I'm like, no, it would suck to not be able to go to the grocery store. Like, Shawn Mendes had a banana fall out of his car, and it was in the news. Some paparazzi caught the banana falling out of his trunk.
Yeah.
Shawn Mendes fumbles fruit in garage door. Like, that was the headline.
I learned about the paparazzi because everybody had me convinced me.
I just learned about them
It
sometime.
was on a YouTube deep dive.
When?
Recently.
Oh, so you just now learned what the paparazzi
No. About Backgrid.
Tell me.
Do you know what Backgrid is?
Backfill. Back rolls.
No, it's like a company.
Backgrid.
It's a company. And people were spreading all this information for a while that Backgrid is a company that you can call the paparazzis on yourself for. So if you have something you want to promote, and it's not, is what I learned. It is a middleman between like TMZ and E! Network and all the tabloids and the paparazzi. So instead of paparazzi individually going to all these people to try and find the highest bid, they sell their stuff to Backgrid. Backgrid will find the highest bid and pay out.
So people thought it was a fake company that was just for calling fake paparazzi, and it's actually like a real paparazzi company?
They thought it was real to like, but they that's anytime there was Backgrid, but like paparazzi photos, it's because someone called on themselves.
That's what they thought.
That's what was being spread.
Mm.
But it's not, and it's not even, so Backgrid doesn't call, like, the paparazzi gets the calls themselves, so they go out.
That's such bad PR for Backgrid. They're out there thinking that they're like not good, and they're like, we're just trying to do our job, and everyone's like, that means that they're low life.
I mean, they're not good.
Yeah, TMZ is a like scary thing that like before we had individual people posting about themselves, the only way the internet knew how to interact with what was happening was a TMZ article.
Yeah.
That was like twisting it. I feel like they've
Yeah.
fallen off now because no one reads the like smash pieces now that are just like mean.
Yeah, they also don't want to scroll through how many stupid long ads.
The way that you can't even read a website on the New York Times in like Safari link anymore without
No,
getting
yeah.
like bombarded by a thing you have to close, press X at the bottom, press no, press don't
I tried to
pay.
screenshot something and it like blocked me.
I
It
tried
like
to-
blacked it out.
It was the funniest thing on Netflix the other day. Couldn't screenshot it.
You haven't been able to do that for a long time.
And it, like Hulu, Disney Plus,
Can't, it'll black the screen out.
we used to live in such glory days.
I used to have, yeah.
Screenshotting used to be like, oh my gosh, I have the power in my fingertips.
I remember when it became a thing.
Oh yeah, because it used to be home button, lock button.
Yeah.
And now we don't have a home button anymore. Just like the classic now.
Yeah.
But I remember when it was hard.
It was hard.
You had to hold down your thumb and you had to use
get
your
ready to do, get ready, because if you're opening a Snapchat,
Oh my god, you'd have to get
you'd
ready.
have to, yeah, because you'd have,
You have to have two
you'd
hands.
have,
You'd have to this.
it'd be this, and you have it ready here to do it, and then you have to click this, and if you're not fast enough, you're screwed.
You had to home button, lock button, and not press the volume. Because the volume, if
Would
you accidentally
close
hit
the
the volumes,
phone.
it would shut all off.
Yeah.
And then, oh my god, when they introduced telling someone that they screenshot on Snapchat.
For all you kids, you used to be able to screenshot anything.
Like, that's what happened to Madison Beer.
Yeah. That thankfully, like I'm like glad
That
you
they
know
introduced
now.
this.
Yeah.
It's crazy how the internet was the wild fucking west.
Do you remember? I will die on this hill here. This is like the one thing I miss the most about the internet. Instagram, when it had the activity page.
When you could see someone liking something shady and you were like, yes!
Hello?
We're gonna shut off. Let's continue the conversation.
As I was saying, my early music taste, wow hits. If cartoons were saved, big deal. And then Stephen Curtis Chapman.
Stephen Curtis Chapman. I'm diving in, I'm going in.
Yes.
Yep.
And then, shockingly enough, it was Beautiful Soul, Jesse McCartney.
Because everyone was like, it kind of sounds like a worship song.
Yes. The second High School Musical 2 soundtrack.
Yes.
And debut, Teardrops on My... Like,
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Core in there.
Yes.
Like, I can
That's
remember
true.
sitting in my old house on the floor, like, at the CD player, listening to it in the purple room. Like,
Oh my god. You would never believe what my debut core memory is.
is it? What is it?
Picture to burn.
Is it the original lyrics? Oh my! That was my surprise song.
Picture to... Yes! You lucky bitch.
I was, and then I got Timeless.
Yep.
Yeah,
Like, pretty fire.
it's so good. Beck got she got Back to December the next night, and she FaceTimed me for it. 'cause I
Yeah,
wanted it
definitely
so
was
bad.
really up. Like, out of all of them, Back to December being one of Denver's made me really upset. Because
Yeah.
I love that song.
I know, I really thought we were gonna get it, but we got Picture Burn, so I cannot complain. But my cousin found her debut CD, and she has the original lyrics.
It's worth a lot of money now.
She has the original lyrics.
Because they stopped.
Why would we sell it? No.
You have to make sure you label it.
Yeah.
Keep that little cover in there where you can tell.
Yeah.
I
It's
don't-
just.
Ours is definitely gone. I think my parents like got rid of all our CDs.
Yeah, all of our CDs are gone. I don't have
Mhm.
anything. But yeah, I remember so vividly that. And I remember Speak Now, because we had just moved to my house that I live in now,
Yes.
with the neighbor kids. I hated them. They're so annoying.
Oh, when you moved to a new neighborhood, you met the kids. You were
It
like,
was the same
it's on
neighborhood.
site.
We moved up the street.
So you're saying that the neighbor kids that were already there, you didn't move away from them, you just were like, damn, again.
We lived deep in the neighborhood, and then we moved to the outskirts of the neighborhood.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Like, it's still the same neighborhood, but
Yeah.
it's gonna be different people.
Yeah. Someone's calling me. I just think it's crazy how many songs are about Harry. And I live by the fact that they were on a situationship way longer than 3 months.
I mean,
It goes back to the beginning of the year.
it's crazy.
Yeah. Because
The diversity of everything that happens, you're like, this happened so quickly.
yeah,
I
but
think it played out over a longer amount of time than that.
Yeah, but also, like, you have to think, like, we've all had, like, different things in situationships where it felt like the right person, but it wasn't, and you were just not good for each other. That didn't last very long. but like shattered a piece of you. Right?
Sorry.
I am loving this.
Instagram can shut down. I feel like you really live your life through the Harry. I feel like some of the songs are just so devastating. I don't live through them as much as you do. You seem to be so devastated.
By what? Life? Living? Breathing?
By the music.
Yes.
By Clean and by 1989.
Yes.
And so you're
Not
saying...
just because they're about Harry. Like, I very personally relate to these things.
What's like specifically?
Clean.
Damn. It's a little hard to get into Clean. It's like, let's unpack the deep meaning of Clean.
Long story short. This is
Long
me
story short,
crying.
it was a bad time. This is...
Mirror
No.
ball.
No, I associate more with like peace and hoax.
Happiness.
Did never say that. When Emma said that to me once, she was like, I feel like I associate with happiness. I'm like,
I love
that
happiness.
song is so devastating.
I love that song.
That song is all too well, that album.
Yes.
It's the one that's like,
Happiness.
it hits you so hard, you're like, no one. Like, people who are like, referencing Taylor as not the Bob Dylan of our generation.
Yeah.
She literally is. If you cannot listen to Happiness and feel connected as a human,
Yes.
like, she has understood human feeling.
Happiness healed a little part of like me.
So
Like,
did peace.
yes. Just be able to acknowledge that something was like in so many areas of my life. It has healed parts of me with like religious trauma, with family trauma, with friend stuff. Just to be able to say like there was happiness because of you and there's happiness that's coming after you. And it's okay to acknowledge what was good even if it didn't end well.
Yes.
And that yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is so good. Because you worded that perfectly. For peace, for me, it's like, you will still be with me even if I can't guarantee you that I'll ever give you peace. That concept is like so good because
Yeah.
that's such a true anxiety of mine that I think
Yeah.
was really real more so during COVID.
Yeah.
Now I feel like I am like very confident in like
Yeah.
what I want and who I want. But at the time I was like, am I even worth being in the dating pool? Because I'm like, I can't guarantee how I'm gonna be. I felt like I was kind of out of control. You know, I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna treat someone. And that song being like, well, I am never gonna like know that I'll give you peace.
Yes.
Right after, before Hoax. Hoax is the last one.
I think Hoax is last.
Yeah, and then Hoax being like, you're the hoax I believe in. It's almost like those two people are dating.
Yeah.
The person being like, I'm worried I'll never give him peace, and then the other person being like, you're a hoax that I believe in.
Because you're too good.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like the songwriting. I know obviously this is been over talked about, but
No,
probably
it's not possible.
the strongest on Folklore, or I feel like they're obviously no the whole album. The whole
No,
album
but
is maybe
yeah.
her strongest thing.
It's
Yeah.
just Folklore and Evermore was so therapeutic and still is to listen to.
I think it healed our generation during COVID.
Yeah, well, 'cause, like during COVID, it like my huge insecurities. I think all of us had to face a ton of insecurities because we were
Yes.
alone with our thoughts for too long.
Yes, too long.
I had like that like. I had to address the fact that I was living my life under the belief that no one could genuinely love me.
Yes.
Yes, just like and like I had like come to terms with this and done all this and then realized that I was believing it and manifesting it with my belief.
Yes.
Because I would behave that way. So when I think someone can't genuinely love me, when they say, hey, do you want to come out, like hang out with us, we're doing this thing, I think I'm an afterthought and they don't want me to come hang out. And so I'm going to be like, no, because I don't want to impose on someone and feel like they have to invite me when like they genuinely do want me there. And so it's destroying all these relationships because I believed that they couldn't love me. And like having like Folklore and Evermore just made me confront a lot of that
Yes.
and realize
The storytelling. It's
Yes.
so good that you're like, other people feel this way.
it
And
put
now,
into words stuff.
yes, and you're like, I have now heard this in a way that is not exactly how I would have worded it, but it's helped me connect to like how I feel.
Yeah, like with This Is Me Trying.
Yes.
Like it's hard to be at a party.
Yes, and it's like, oh, and it's hard to be like not good in school when
Yeah.
you know you can do it.
Or even in Mirrorball, and I think it's in Mirrorball, like so ahead of the curve became a sphere. Is that Mirrorball?
This is me trying.
That's all. This is me trying.
Yes, yeah, that one's good.
But like I'm so ahead of
made
the
me
curve.
feel like I healed a part of my college pathway soul.
Yes.
Because I'm like, I was in these college classes feeling so stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And the song is about having a life that's thrown up and down. And
Yeah.
sometimes you can do it, sometimes you can't. And it felt like I can feel real that I struggled and
Yes.
not have to cover it up.
I don't have to hide the fact I got a C in that one class.
The math class because we went to Panera too much.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't regret anything. I've like been talking to my little brother about that because both of them, they're at College Pathways, and it's just still the attitude now
Yes.
that grades are the definition of your worth and the definition of your intelligence.
And it's under the guise that you can't fail a college class and represent us poorly as a school.
Did you know College Pathways is no longer allowed to charge them for failed classes legally?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what
They
the
passed a
hell?
law.
That was our like only
Fear.
motivation. We would go. I was telling Becca about this. She goes, C's get degrees. I go, no. We said C's are free. C's are free.
Because if you had a D, they were going
You
to
have to
charge
pay.
you for it.
No, and so I've just been trying to talk to them like, your grades are not a measure of your intelligence. They never will be. You can be the smartest person with the worst grades. And they're not a measure of your worth. Because I'd rather you be a really nice person with bad grades than a really mean person with good grades.
And I'll always say, people I will not name that you know,
Yeah.
who left. And we're like flying through classes at our
Yeah.
regular public schools. It's like, oh yeah, I didn't really stay connected with them because they left. But
Yeah,
they
it's
were
hard to
thriving
stay
in a
connected
world
with people who left.
because they were thriving in the regular public school world where the
Yeah.
classes were easier and it wasn't like this pressure of you were going to have to pay for a class.
Yeah, and they genuinely were just easier. We were held to such a high standard at such a young age. I think it did, like, a lot of that healed. This Me Trying really healed a ton.
Yes, and like
Just to-
Mirrorball too. I remember thinking
Yeah.
for some
Because
reason
we would change into what everyone wanted us to be.
I imagined Mirrorball. This is kind of like a low IQ take on the song, but I would just imagine it being at a dance
Oh, no, I agree.
and like being at a dance, seeing a disco ball, and like feeling like, oh, I'm just gonna be whoever's here.
My imagery is the one decade dance that we had.
Uh-oh.
The 50s decade dance.
In
That
the
is-
TCA East gym.
No, at DSM.
Oh god.
That's where Mirrorball, like when I first start thinking about it, that's the setting my brain goes to. I have not laughed so hard in so long.
I know, we both laughed and
this hard-
cried.
I think the last time I laughed this hard was the last time we filmed.
Yes. Literally, the podcast is just like a cocoon of positive
I'm
laughter.
never
I
going
know.
to forgive myself for not knowing basic biology.
Yes. That is one thing about the episode I will say is definitely my already favorite part, and we literally just filmed it.
Yeah.
You, in 100% seriousness, were disappointed that I had the idea I wanted to give birth to Joe Allen's baby. You were so angry at me. You were so like, oh, what a letdown. He's gonna birth the child. You were 100% convinced.
It just came out, like, I was just thinking about the genetics of the two of you having children. And I said it. And then I didn't even realize what I had said until you said something. You said, well, like, not that we would be having children together.
Yeah.
And then I went, wait, why?
You literally, wait, why?
And just silence.
Dead silence. And then, of course, extra silent on my end. Because my mic is like busted. Let's hope it's working now. If it rewrites over this now, we will have a like actual crime scene on our hands. This computer and the rest of this will be going downhill.
I think you did.
I think we did it. Look at what you made me do.
What you made me do.
Regardless, I hope you enjoyed this wonderful episode of Izzy and I literally crying about Taylor Swift lyrics while my equipment tries to corrupt it because
Yeah.
Scott Borchetta.
And nearly crying about hoax.
Oh, I think we both literally talking about hoax started
I
crying.
did tear up. I did actually. I could cry right now.
Oh, again, we're just David Dobrik. We just completely, we're like, we are going to re-record it word for word with the correct
Can you
audio.
print just the text of this audio? I will read it as a script. David Dobrik. I hate your guts. Please give me a computer.
That's a great ending. That's a great ending. We should just end it there.
No. episode of outtakes.
Yeah, glitched out, fucked up outtakes. That's what this episode is.
I think there's been a glitch. Oh my gosh, it's Taylor Swift.
I think there's been a glitch.
You know about the glitch TikTok.
The 1989 one that is actually about glitch.
This all glitched because the double album theory is true.
No, I think this all glitched because the double album theory is not true and we need to touch grass.
Taylor knows. Taylor hacked into your computer.
Because this was going to unveil her truth, and she said 13 plus 13 is what, bitch?
27.
Thank you.
26.
You could say any number to me and I'd say thank you in a serious tone. You could have said 56 and I would have been like, of course.
The glitch, oh my gosh, it's Taylor Swift.
I think there's been a glitch.
No way, it actually glitched out after we talked about glitch.
The 1989 one that was
Taylor's real.
This all glitched because the double album
And it literally glitches after you say this, Izzy, no
I
joke.
think this all glitched because the double album theory is not true and we need to touch grass.
And I say that and Taylor struck me down.
Taylor hacked into your computer.
Because this was going to unveil her truth.
27.
And it broke in the middle of us saying that.
I'm Taylor.
I'm like a little freaked out right
I'm
now.
kind of scared.
Well,
Phone.
where's my phone? You were witnessing us literally realize.
Oh my gosh, we're still filming.
Yes, Taylor, you think there's been a glitch? I'm gonna commit double homicide on that microphone and that microphone.
I think he did it.
I think you did it.